Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway. I'm Kendall Kerr, and I've got Toby Wedgwood and Alan Kunman alongside. Tonight's action is going to be, like I just said, at Daytona to kick off the season for the Highline Development Series, race number 1, season number 2. Toby, what are your thoughts here at Daytona?
These guys are coming off ending their season, the first season of the development series, and I know all these guys are trying to get back on the track and get out there, and I just want to just have a good show tonight, and I think they're really going to put on a show. These guys are chomping at the bit to get into the Premier Series even, so we're gonna see some good performances tonight.
Well, Alan, when you look at the field as they're right now in open qualifying, who do you think some of the favorites coming in here tonight might just be?
Well, Kendall, definitely you have to take a look at that 18 car of Ty Smith. He's really becoming the Pied Piper of these restrictor plate races here, and in the Highline Racing League, I'd say you also got to keep your eye on that 26 of Dylan Body. He seems to always run real strong here, these plate races. So those are the two I'm going to keep my eye on tonight.
Yeah, plenty of guys to pick and choose from, as right now it's actually Jonathan Noss at the top of the board. And we saw him run really well last season in Talladega before getting involved in a crash late. So I'm sure Jonathan Noss might be a player as we watch him go through qualifying right now.
Yeah, he really impressed me that last race they ran at Talladega, and I think he's got a lot of talent and all the up-and-coming guys to watch for sure. Another guy you don't want to sleep on is Aaron Seeger. That guy seems to find his way to the front in most restrictor plate races and just kind of methodically picks his way through the field and just gets his way up there. So I keep an eye on him as well.
Yeah, of course, the story of the offseason is moving to more strict rules on the Premier guys coming down and trying to steal some of these development guys' thunder. So it's going to be a limit of just 3 races this season that they can come down here. So we'll see fewer of them in each race, but just like before, they'll have to start in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge again this year for these guys starting in the back. They've got the talent we know to be in the Premier Series, but we kind of want to let these guys that are full-time in the Premier Series kind of flex their muscle and mix it up with these guys. And so making these guys pick their way through the field really adds a challenge to their, to them wanting to come out and run with these guys. So we kind of got to limit that, but yet we kind of encourage it as well.
And of course, Plan B Sales is stepping in this season as the primary sponsor of this series, so we can't thank those guys enough. Be sure the next time you guys are getting driver apparel or diecast or anything fan related to NASCAR, check out Plan B Sales. And while you're there, use the code HLRL as you will get free shipping on your order if you use that.
Yeah, that was a big addition for us. We're very happy to have them on board, and I hope we continue a relationship with them and make them happy. And make it worth their while to be a part of this.
Yeah, of course, them coming on board. Plan B is the main sponsor of this series. We'll have CircleBDiecast with the Premier Series, which starts on Thursday. And while we have you guys here, let's take a quick break and take a look at this message. And like we were mentioning, the Premier Series runs Thursday night, so be sure to flip on over to Max Speed TV and catch all the action as they'll be at Daytona for a 100-lapper. In fact, all 3 of us will be running in that one. But we got a score to settle here tonight with these development guys trying to work their way into that series. We saw 5 guys from Season 1 graduate and move on to that series. We had Adam Bossy, Victor Valley, DJ Stagner, Tyler Rush, and Dylan Smith all move on. So it's good to see those guys earn their way to the next series, and we'll have to see what they can do on Thursdays now.
Yeah, those guys really showed some talent, in our first inaugural development series season, and Alan here is actually the defending champion of that, but he won't get to defend that title this time around. But Alan, what do you think about the guys that did get moved up, and what was it like racing around them?
They definitely deserved it for sure. I had a great time running with those guys last season. They always put on a show. So they were fast every week. So they definitely deserve to be moved over to Thursday nights. And I can't wait to start that season with them and get to running with them in those Xfinity cars.
Absolutely.
Well, we got 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and it's Roberto Ramirez at the top of the board. As we're watching him right now, weave between some traffic and a big wreck happened behind him there. But Roberto Ramirez is another guy to keep an eye on. He's kind of one of those plate guys that always shows up at the end, including actually a Premier Series victory in Daytona last season with a crash happening in front of him and able to weave his way through it.
He always seems to find his way, kind of like Andy, but Roberto is always in the right place at the right time, it seems like, on these restrictor plate tracks. And it's a pleasure to watch him. He always finds his way to the front and just seems to be just there in the end, and that's all that matters at these kind of races.
I want to give a shout out to Dylan Poteet, who's currently second on the board. Will Reichert third. How about Chance Duckworth fourth? Good to see him come back to the series after an extended absence. Of course, one of the original members back in 2011 on the Xbox days.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. I definitely missed him, and it was nice having him around back then, and it's nice to have him back now.
Well, we've got just a couple minutes left to go here in qualifying. We're going to take a quick break as we get a word in here from Racing Warehouse.
History. Authenticity. A one-of-a-kind piece of racing memorabilia. Lawson and his team have been helping race fans get their hands on real race-used items for over 10 years now. Follow them on social media as their inventory is constantly changing and being upgraded. Or, if you're in the Carolinas, stop on by and I guarantee you'll leave feeling like family. The Racing Warehouse, a one-of-a-kind experience. Serving race fans since 2010.
And of course, can't thank the Racing Warehouse enough for being on board. They've been a partner since we've really hit our stride here on iRacing. And of course, they sell a lot of used sheet metal and stuff that actually is run in real races. It's as real as it gets. And don't forget, speaking of those guys, if you can type in that chat there your prediction of the top 3 tonight, you'll, if you're correct, you'll win a mystery box from those guys. And their mystery boxes are pretty cool. We usually have a contingency panel, a couple of victory lane hats, and some decals as well. So definitely take the opportunity to predict your top 3. And if you're right, Racing Warehouse will hook you up.
Yeah, those guys are really top notch over there. We're blessed to be partnered with them, and Eric and those guys over there do a great job. And go ahead and type your picks in. Let's type your picks in. Let's get this thing going. You guys can win some free stuff.
Well, that's going to do it for qualifying. Looks like Roberto Ramirez is going to secure the pole.
No surprise there for sure.
So if you guys have to get in your official pick tonight, who's it going to be?
Alan, you go ahead.
I'm probably going to roll with my buddy Ty Smith, like I was saying earlier. He's really becoming the Pied Piper of these plate races within the league. So I'm going to be looking at him all night. I'm sure he'll be up front, when that checker flag falls.
Yeah, I told you guys earlier in practice, but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna pick Bucky Burt to win tonight.
All right, Bucky. Bucky. Of course, our social media manager does a great job with that, and it would be certainly a popular win if Bucky could secure a win here tonight. I'm going to go, based off what I saw at the end of last season, I'm going to go Dalton Beer, the 38 car. He was running really, really well at Talladega before just getting clipped at the end. He actually pushed Will Reichert into the league and a couple other guys, so I look for the 38 to be strong tonight.
Solid pick.
All right, guys, well, they're getting ready to grid up, so it's time to cue up the starting grid music and work our way through the rows here. We'll wait for some of these guys to officially grid up. All right, waiting on Roberto Ramirez, but he's your pole sitter. Starting on outside front row is going to be Dylan Poteet in the 01. Row 3 is going to be Will Reichert, the 67 car. And alongside him is Chance Duckworth. And to row number 3 comes Cody Robinson and Jonathan Noss, another good qualifying effort in the 44 car. Right behind Jonathan Noss is Ty Smith in the 18 car, Bucky Birdshow on the hood. And outside of Ty Smith is going to be Matt Owens in the 48 car. Right behind Matt Owens is going to be Trevor Hook. He's in the 84 car.
Rolling off 10th is going to be Scott McCarris in the 65. 11th going to be Steve Rada in the 3 car. Rolling off 12th, Jacob Winke. 13th is going to be Dalton Beer, followed by Michael Maruga and Daniel Clark. Benjamin Porsche brings it home 16th in qualifying. Brad Kress 17th. Jeff Morash 18th. And Dylan Wedgwood 19th.
Scott Wheeler Jr., he's going to roll off 20th. Corey Blevins, he's going to be 22nd. DJ Stagner 23rd. Connor Holden in the 81 car, he'll roll off 24th. Ryan Potter will come off the grid 25th. Jordan Martin making his first start tonight, he'll be 26th. Andrew Baker 27th. Andrew Siegel 28th. Jacob Halm 29th. Bucky Burton and Dylan Body will round out the field.
Well, those are no slouches in the back there. We love those guys. We're probably secretly going to be pulling for those guys just a little bit because they're actually going to be jumping into the booth quite a bit, both in this series as well as we'll see them next season with the Premier Series. So exciting stuff ahead, and those two guys really lead the charge with a lot of it. So
yeah, it's gonna be a good season for both series. It's you know, we're blessed to have been able to gather a group of guys like this that can week out and have good, clean racing. It's just great to be a part of. It's great to create an environment where people can do this, and we look forward to gaining more people and expanding the league as we go.
Well, what's going through your mind right now? We've got 50 laps here at Daytona tonight. Of course, 2 green-white checkers. Got to mention there is no fast repairs in this series, so you better take care of your stuff. I'm thinking that they'll probably have to pit 1 time, maybe 2 times, but I think it's going to be just 1 pit stop tonight. So that's going to be another key, is to make sure you get cleanly on and off of pit road as we're coming out of turn 4, and that brand new iRacing.com no manufactured pace car takes the hard left-hand turn. And we're green. Season 2 for the Plan B Sales Development Series is underway. Both lanes got a good restart as they head down into turn 1. See Chance Duckworth on the outside trying to get to the back end there. Dylan Poteet the inside lane. Roberto Ramirez hold the lead.
Roberto Ramirez on the inside lane, followed by Will Reichert pushing him. On the outside is Dylan Poteet trying to get a run with Chance Duckworth.
Yeah, Chance Duckworth is really trying to get up there to that 0-1, trying to get something going on the outside lane. Roberto Ramirez, though, he's still holding on to that lead. Will Riker right on his bumper.
Somebody's up in the wall already. It looks like it might have been the 44, Jonathan Noss. A hard crash. Jeff Morash is in it. Brad Kress, Jacob Holm, and others. And that is not the way that we wanted to kick off this season, as we've already got a body shop caution. We'll get you a replay. Yeah, I think that accident actually started with the 44 car just going up and just happening to catch the outside wall. We've seen it time and time again in these ARCA cars, and when he comes back down, that's what starts it. Here's a view of it. There he is, catching the wall. Nowhere for Matt Owens to go. And then Michael Maruga, his debut starts off sour. Dylan Wedgwood involved there. You see Brad Kress, and then everybody in the back involved, it seems. So unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems like he just got up into that wall, and once you do that in these cars, it's like a magnet. I mean, it sticks to the wall, then you try to get it out off the wall, and it jerks hard to the left, and it's really difficult to keep control of it. So we just come down to traffic and head northward.
Here's what Jeff Morash saw. Of course, nowhere to go, and then gets hit 2, 3, 4 times. Ugh, you just hate to see it. Everybody's got that fresh slate, can't even make one lap, and they've got tore up race cars, and it's so costly with no fast repairs. But in order to get these guys ready for the Premier Series, that's the way we got to run it. Hopefully some of these guys are able to get things repaired and get back out there and get some points.
Those things, Daytona chain reaction, you really can't do much to avoid it, so we're just going to have to see what they can do.
Well,
yeah, not the start of the season that I know a lot of these guys wanted to see, but like Toby was saying, that's just the way it goes sometimes with these plate races. You just have nowhere to go. It sucks that it was on the first lap, but that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Well, back up front, it's still Roberto Ramirez, Will Reichert in second. Cody Robinson's got a new paint scheme out there with the Labatt blue colors. He's in third, and Dylan Poteet fourth. Ty Smith up to fifth. I was going to see if we could get a word in with somebody, but it looks like they might be going one to go here.
Lights are off on the pace car.
Yeah, if it's somebody like Alan, I've actually jumped down and grabbed an interview with you before with one to go, but I know you've been through this time and time again. Some of these other guys, I don't want to bother their concentration.
Oh, yeah. Well, Daytona is a pretty big track, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind. They still have a couple seconds to get their mind refocused on this restart.
Let's see if we can grab Curtis real quick. Curtis, this is the booth guys. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, what's going on the radio chatter after a wreck on lap 1?
I mean, we're all just kind of talking to each other, seeing if we can see each other's damage, telling each other how bad it is. Mine doesn't seem too bad. I think these cars are kind of tanks, so no one feels like they're out of it yet. Is the vibe I'm getting. We're becoming green here, though.
Yeah, we'll let you go, Curtis. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were really pushing our luck with that interview. He's nice enough to give it to us. Toby, you want to get him going this time?
I'm just now getting loaded back in, guys. Had some internet issues.
Oh, okay. Alan, why don't you get us going?
All right, pace car pulls off on the pit road. At 32, Roberto Ramirez is going to lead him back to the green again. With Will Riker to his outside, Cody Robinson is going to fall in behind that 32. Again, Poteet is backside of him. Looking at that inside lane for him pretty good.
Yeah, nobody seemed to go with Dylan Poteet there, as we've got 4 cars lined up to just 1 up there, but keep your eye on the 3 car of Steve Rada and Dalton Muir, that 38 car, both making a move on the outside lane.
Yeah, I think after that lap 1 crash, a lot of these guys were maybe thinking, let's get single file for a little bit and just ride for a while.
Yeah, we saw that happen with the Daytona 500 in real life, the lap 15 accident, and everybody kind of made the parade at the top. You got to get some laps knocked off because they only pay points in this series on the last lap, so these guys have got to make sure they survive, but doesn't seem like they're taking the advice or thinking that we're talking about as Dylan Poteet goes to the lead with help from Steve Rada.
Yeah, that 0-1, he led that lap there. It looks like the outside is trying to form up again. Bucky Bird, I see him back there. He's trying to figure out which lane is going. He's going to fall in line behind that outside, it looks like, for the time being. As they come off turn 2, Roberto Ramirez is taking the lead back from Dylan Poteet.
And the bottom side still holding the lead right now, but they are 2 by 2, 5 rows deep. Give the advantage back to Dylan Poteet as they go into 3 and 4.
Yeah, that 3 car is all over that 0-1 car here. I hope these guys remember they can't bump in these cars though. One small bump will cause a big one.
Yeah, these cars are probably the least forgiving of any of the major stock cars on iRacing when it comes to bump gravity. And Steve Rada is right on the back bumper, the 01, and Will Reichert is right on the back bumper, the 32.
Steve Rada is kind of going side to side here, and I don't think the 38 can really get sucked up to him because of that. But Roberto Ramirez leads him down the backstretch.
Roberto is hanging on to that number 1 position on that inside lane. I don't think he's wanting to give that up anytime soon. But that outside lane, they're fighting back pretty strong here in the corners. But it just seems like coming off the exit, the inside lane just prevails.
And we're riding on board right now with Scott McCarris. He's buried in this mess. This is kind of gives you an idea of what these guys are going through right now. They look so steady from the long camera angles out, but look how much they're bobbing and weaving in there. And it certainly jumps your heart rate up. It looks like Cody Robinson comes up the track a little bit right now.
Looked like the outside lane was going to get a run there for a little bit. Dylan Poteet was peeking outside of Roberto Ramirez. And they look like they're going to get a run down the
Whoa,
back.
somebody touched Trevor Hook. Hook is in the grass.
Yeah, he looks like he got gathered back up though. He's back up on the track.
That was a heck of a save by Trevor Hook as somebody got into the side of him and touched him down. It looked like it was a blue car, but I didn't get the exact number on it.
Yeah, these guys are still pretty racy here up front. Like
we're
3
3
cars
wide.
3 wide.
My goodness, it seems early for this as we've got Steve Rada all the way to the top, and that's going to allow the bottom lane to be organized. And now it's Roberto Ramirez leading him again down the backstretch.
Will Riker to the outside of that 32. He's got help with the 01. Here comes Steve Rada. He's got Scott McCarris behind him. He's trying to get that third lane working, coming down into turn 3.
Oh, we see the 65 and 38 make slight contact. They're both able to gather it up together as these guys aren't wasting any time. They are 3 by 3 by 3. And across the line, it's Steve Rada is actually going to lead that lap, heading into 1.
Roberto Ramirez holding tough on the bottom. Steve Rada's making that third lane work with just 2 cars up there. I don't know how they're doing that, but it looks like they get broke up in the middle. Dylan Poteet breaking away a little bit from Will Reichert.
Yeah, I'm sure Dylan Poteet, as he checks up a little bit, I was going to say, I'm sure he's holding a pretty steady wheel there. He was 3 wide coming off of turn 2. Here comes that 3 car for the lead, though, going down into turn 3. He's trying to get to Will Reichert in that 67 car.
Yeah, I saw Will Reichert pull down to the inside lane, so momentarily that's going to make it just 2 rows of racing. I tell you what, if I'm in the top 10 right now, I'm pulling my car below that double yellow line and taking off back to the back, because those guys are racing really hard for lap 11, but give them credit, they've been able to hold it together.
Yeah, it's quite the hornet's nest up here as we head off into 1. We got Will Reichert down on the bottom, and Steve Rada still up top, fighting up top. Scott McCarris behind him, Dylan Poteet up top. Looks like they're going to get the run down the back straightaway.
Yeah, these guys really are racing hard. We only have 50 laps here tonight, but it's still a long race. If I was them, I would try to get everybody single file and just ride for a little bit. But, you know, it's great. They're putting on a show for us for sure.
Yeah, we don't need to be the ones complaining, Alan. As we see Corey Blevins go from the top to bottom, that's going to thin out the top line. We'll see if it affects him. Put Will Reichert back to the lead, the 67 car, as they cross the stripe.
Will Reichert holding strong out front on the bottom as Roberto Ramirez peeks to the inside. Going to tuck back in line behind him. Steve Rada coming up on the outside, followed by Scott McCarris and Dylan Poteet in that outside line.
I know Roberto Ramirez wants to get back to that lead so bad, but right now he's stuck there in that second position on that inside lane. I don't think he wants to go 3 wide just yet, so I think he's probably going to ride there behind Will Reichert for the time being.
Steve Rada thought about pulling it to the inside lane, but just wasn't quite clear, as now we see Reichert fight back there in the purple car, and Scott McCarris in the 65 still trying to shove the 3 car on the outside lane back to the front.
I think the 65 is getting kind of impatient behind Rada there. Bobs and weaves to the left and right, and Scott McCarris seems like he's going to try to peek out every now and then, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. As they're side by side heading into turn 2, off onto the back stretch. Dead even down the middle of the backstretch.
Yeah, working lap 13 here. Looks like the outside lane got a good run off turn 2 that time. Here comes that 59 of Daniel Clark. Oh, here comes Bucky Bird up the middle, 3 wide.
What a move by Bucky. So Bucky's up there trying to get pretty racy. We see some slight damage on the left side of the 25 car, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be affecting him. We know Bucky's got a lot of confidence coming into Daytona here tonight. But I look for the 25 car to get back up there before this thing's over.
Oh,
we see the 3 car.
Steve
Big break for Roberto Ramirez.
Oh, hard into the wall was Roberto. He spun it all the way to the inside, so we're going to stay green. Of course, on iRacing, we see it time and time again that there's no yellow thrown when they spin off of the racing surface. But that's going to give the lead to Scott McCarris, and it really broke up this pack.
Definitely going to make things interesting.
Something happened there with the 3 car, and evidently the 32 got tagged in the meanwhile, and those guys were running up front the entire race prior to that. But hats off to Scott McCarris, getting his first career lap led in Highline Racing League.
It looks like Will Reichert got into Steve Rada, and that trying to the chain reaction sent Roberto down to the inside wall, kind of reminiscent of Kyle Busch's accident a few years back when he broke his leg.
It really did look a lot like Kyle Busch's accident back here at Daytona a few years ago. Yeah, that front pack really got broken up. And you see Bucky Burt making a move to the outside with, I believe that's Chance Duckworth right behind him.
Yeah, give a call to Chance Duckworth. Of course, we knew him from the Xbox League, but back here on iRacing, and I know he's had some internet issues, but they seem to be holding up so far. I don't know why these guys didn't stay single file that were 1 through 5. I think they could have drove away from that big pack behind them.
Yeah, as you see Bucky Bird on the outside here by himself, doesn't have any help. He's going to tuck in probably behind Chance right here. And they will get single file as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, if this front pack can just stay single file, I think they may be able to pull away from that second pack. Scott McCarris doing a great job leading this pack right now. They're Dylan Poteet, Will Riker, Chance Duckworth, and Bucky Burt. There's your top 5.
Yeah, as we see, that second pack now finally is able to close in, as we're going to be right back to the way we were before that incident happened now. It's still Scott McCarris leading, but that second pack came with a head of steam, and they are definitely there.
They were 3 wide there for a little bit. We got some lap traffic up high here into turn 1. It's going to get interesting as they got a single file try to get by these cars, kind of sort it out.
Yeah, you see the speed difference on camera right now. It really does make for a stressful situation when you're in that lead pack and some of those lap cars are that far off the pace.
Yeah, how about Chance Duckworth going to the outside trying to take the lead here? He's going to pull that 67 down the backstretch into turn 3 with him. They're side by side for the lead as they make their way through turn 4.
Yeah, both Blacktop Racing development drivers side by side right now for the lead. That makes owner here in the booth pretty happy as Chance Duckworth takes the Roll Tide Alabama car to the lead.
Got some lap traffic in front of them here. It's going to make it difficult. They're going to have to sort this out or there's going to be carnage again. But looks like Chance Duckworth dives it off into the inside into turn 1, and he will maintain the lead with Will Reichert on the outside, followed by Curtis Granger, Andy Siegel, Ty Smith, and who's the 97, Scott Wheeler Jr. As they head off into the back straightaway, looks like the outside's getting a run.
Curtis Granger with a big push to Will Reichert to clear him, and Chance Duckworth going down into turn 3 to take the lead. Reichert looks like he's going to the bottom here. He's going to block that run on that inside. Look at Andy Siegel, though. He's up there racing for the lead now. He's right there behind that 77 of Curtis Granger.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll try to push his way up through up there to the lead.
I was just about to mention it, that we talked about him in the pre-race show, both Ty Smith and Andy Siegel being super speedway aces, and here they come behind former Premier Series champion Curtis Granger. It's a good spot to be.
They're neck and neck as they head into turn 2 and hit the back straightaway. Andy Siegel still giving a shove to that 77 to Curtis Granger. Will Reichert to the lead with Chance Duckworth behind him.
Yeah, Bucky Bird and Scott Wheeler, they got a huge run coming off of turn 2, but they had to check up. Didn't want to take a 3 wide there around Andy Siegel. Yeah, Will Reichert hanging on to that lead here as we come out of turn 4. Oh, we got contact.
That was that a lap car?
That was. It looked like, I believe that was Andy Siegel made up contact with him, but we keep it going.
Yeah, we've seen a few incidents that have happened, but no yellow flag yet, which is great. So we like seeing this green flag action.
Will Reichert dives it off to the inside and takes the lead. He's got Chance Duckworth in tow with Curtis Granger on the outside of him. Andy Siegel and Scott Wheeler lined up on the outside as we head down the back straightaway.
Man, here comes that 26 car of Dylan Body breaking his way into the top 10 here. I know him and the SB Motorsports guys, they wanted to hang out around back for a while. Looks like he's trying to make his way up to the front now.
And the other thing to keep in mind, I'm sure green flag pit stops are going to be on the forefront of the radio discussion, as these guys are going to want to get organized as teams or manufacturer partners and try to pit all at the same time. As we see Curtis Granger lead that lap on the outside lane.
We got another lap car that's going to throw a wrench into things. They better decide where they're going or there's going to be another wreck. But like I said a while ago, they're 3 wide heading into turn 1. Will Reichert out front. They're going to get a run on the top side down the back straightaway. They'll be neck and neck.
Yeah, that was the 64 lap car of DJ Stagner. They just went around, but they got through there pretty clean. You got Andy Siegel. He's pushing Curtis Granger to the lead here coming into turn 3, and Granger drops down in front of his teammate Will Reichert. I imagine they're going to stay bumper to bumper now that they're back to that inside lane.
Put Granger to the lead. I think second for the time being is Andy Siegel. Third, Will Reichert. As now we see a run from the outside lane with just 2 cars once again. Andy Siegel actually led that lap with a push from Scott Wheeler.
Like I said in pre-race, Andy Siegel was one to watch because he always makes his way to the front. It looks like that's proven true as Curtis Granger's down the inside, retains the lead heading out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Andy Siegel and Scott Wheeler will get a run coming down the back straightaway, and it'll be Curtis Granger down the middle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is about 2 cars being on the outside lane, but it seems like they can get it hooked up and go to the lead. As we see the 64 coming through, making it 3 wide.
I'm sure that's not going to make these guys very happy with a lap car doing that, but he's got to do what he's got to do to stay in the lucky dog position because his car doesn't look to be that damaged.
Yeah, he's going to tuck in with the rest of the cars as Curtis Granger is going to lead them down the front straightaway and into turn 1. We got some cars coming back on the track inside the wrecked earlier. It is Curtis Granger retaining lead out of turn 2. Is that behind him? 64 car.
DJ Stagner.
He's tucked in there. Scott Wheeler's tucked behind him, and Andy Siegel's all the way on his lonesome on the outside.
Yeah, Andy Siegel, he really got a run down the backstretch. I don't know if he was side drafting the 67 and 97 or what, but looks like he's falling back now. He's going to probably try to find a place to tuck in here as they all come down pit road. Got green flag pit stops going on here.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get organized single file as, whoa, almost the whole field down pit road, and they did a fantastic job. Oh no, just as I say that, Dylan Body hooks somebody on pit road.
Oh, that was the 18 of Ty Smith.
Oh no. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad.
Oh, yeah. Looks like they just got together. I don't know what happened there. Dylan went down to the inside and Ty was down there.
I'm guessing because they're both Premier Series guys, historically, that they were pitting really, really close together. I can't believe almost the entire field pit on the same lap. I mean, that had to just be crazy.
Yeah, Curtis Granger, he got about out of pit road way ahead of these guys, so he's going to have a big pack coming after him in about a lap here.
That's kind of the situation Denny Hamlin had in the Daytona 500. He's going to have to try and manage that big run that they're going to get behind him, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So they pit there on lap 23, and that was with a caution. So I imagine they're going to have to come down pit road at least one more time to top off. So throw a wrench into any kind of strategy with one pit stop because it's going to be a 2 pit stop race.
Strategy's gonna. It may end up rearing its ugly head later. You never know. But Curtis Granger's gonna retain the lead into turn 1 with a couple lap cars in front of him.
And if Kurt can stay locked in with those lap cars, it's actually possible he can pull away from the entire pack behind him. But I just don't know with the damage there to I think the 23 car, Michael Maruga, if they'll be able to maintain pace.
Yeah, I don't think 3 cars up here with Curtis, I don't think it's going to be enough. That big pack, they're coming in a hurry.
That's definitely going to help him out, though, as opposed to just riding around by himself. I mean, they're not going to have near the head of steam that they would have, as we see Scott Wheeler leading that second pack just behind him.
Yeah, since they've entered turn 3, they've gained 2 seconds on Curtis Granger, so they are coming with a head of steam and in a hurry. As we see Scott Wheeler down on the inside. Curtis Granger still following the lap cars, but Scott Wheeler down on the inside, followed by Will Reichert, Chance Duckworth on the outside, the 99 of Ryan Potter on the inside, the 01 of Dylan Poteet, and Andy Siegel down on the inside as well as they go down the back straightaway. They are closing in on the 77 as they go into turn 3, and they're going to have a head of steam.
Yeah, Scott Wheeler Jr. continuing to lead that line as they go around Curtis for the lead. The 97 goes to the point here at Daytona. He's got Will Reichert right behind him. Reichert's teammate Ryan Potter, where did he come from? I haven't seen him all race.
You're right, I haven't even mentioned Ryan Potter's name, but there he is when it matters. He's running in P2 right now, pushing Will Reichert to the lead.
Will Reichert on the outside there, and he's been strong, and I look for him to be strong all night if he can keep it up there, and looks like he's going to hold the lead coming out of 2. They won't be too wide until 4th and 5th place. Dylan Poteet and Scott Wheeler.
Yeah, you got 3 wide behind that 99 of Ryan Potter. Those guys are fighting for 3rd position. Dylan Poteet up there on that outside lane. Chance Duckworth in the middle. Scott Wheeler right there on your bottom. Looks like Andy Siegel's trying to pick a lane. He's going to try to make his way back up there as he gets side by side with that 01 of Dylan Poteet coming off turn 4.
And just behind Siegel there is the 38 car with my pick to win, Dalton Beard. Looks like he's got a clean car in that Smart Food Ford. And who knows? I mean, it's go time at this point here at Daytona, and we're starting to see the contenders really show their cards.
Yeah, if these guys can get bunched back up, I think it could be a real slugfest. But for now, it's just going to be this group up front as they're starting to get too wide heading into turn 3. It's Will Reichert out front still.
Yeah, I'm looking back here at Curtis Granger. He's hanging on to this front pack. He's riding behind that 02 of Jordan Martin. Riding there on that inside lane as they come off turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like we're down to about 10 cars if this thing goes green that are going to have a chance to win, as we see Chance Duckworth take the lead and a huge slew of lap cars to deal with just ahead.
That's going to be interesting as Chance Duckworth dives down to the inside and he will take the point at Daytona. He's been gone a long time, but it's a long time coming. He's back to the front.
We're looking out the front end of Chance Duckworth right now. Here he's having to dodge all kind of lap cars. They're doing a good job getting out of the way for him, but see, it's not fun for him.
I'll tell you what, that 67 car does not want to give up that lead. He made a run on the outside down the backstretch, but he couldn't quite clear Chance. They make their way out of turn 4, coming around the lap car of Trevor Hook in that 84.
We've got 2 cars lined up on the outside still. Dylan Poteet and Scott McHarris. We've seen for whatever reason 2 cars are able to get kind of a big run on that outside lane. We'll see if they can do it heading into 1.
Another lap car on the outside is going to bottle things up here. Ty Smith, and there's contact with Dylan Poteet, Scott McHarris, and Dalton Beer as the caution's out.
My goodness, that's going to change everything for this race. Such an unfortunate break as the lap car really, I thought, did a decent job of getting to the outside lane, but let's take a look here at the replay. Now, that all started with Dylan Poteet in the 01. Get him pulled up here. Here's the replay for you. We see Ty Smith to the outside. He came down just a little bit, but you see everything behind him. Unfortunately, the 5 car involved as well. I know Scott McHarris got a big part of that. Let's see if we can get what Scott McHarris saw in that accident. I was actually on board there with Dylan Poteet. Ugh, so frustrating. I know some of these lap cars are just 1 and 2 laps down, but you know, I'm sure the radio chatter's probably wondering why they couldn't get to the apron. That's going to put the lead to Chance Duckworth. So, uh-oh, he's skipping out of my screen right now, so hopefully his internet's hanging on okay. Will Reichert currently running 2nd.
Yeah, I imagine all these guys up here in the front are probably going to come down pit road and top off, and who knows, maybe even grab some tires to finish out these last 20 laps of this race here at Daytona. You do see everybody coming down pit road.
Yeah, so that'll take the strategy right out of it.
Yeah, that ends the strategy game for sure at Daytona. Chance Duckworth's going to lead him down pit road as he hits his pit box. 4 fresh tires and some fuel.
Not quite as big of a deal here if you're unable to stop cleanly in your pit box. We see the 67 does meet it, the 82 out of pit lane, so it's kind of stuff like that that you see, you know, some of these guys that hadn't been on iRacing quite as much, you know, not be able to figure out it's hitting your box, getting in and out of pit road quick, as the lead is probably going to turn over here to Will Reichert in the 67. A lot of guys still getting damage repair as well. Well, we've seen a lot of incidents so far tonight. That can be expected, especially with this car. It's difficult to drive. But wish we had a little bit bigger pack. Hopefully they're able to finish this one off here all the way green to the line, that'd be awesome.
I can promise you, Kendall, they're not done wrecking yet, man. I don't think we've seen the big one yet.
Yeah, that storm's slowly brewing. But I do want to give a shout out to Chance Duckworth. Been gone for quite a while from the racing league. Started back in the Xbox days, like you said earlier, Kendall. But how about the effort he's putting in tonight, making his way out front and leading some laps?
Yeah, of course he races a crate dirt late model down at the Magnolia Speedway on the weekends, but good to see him get back into the iRacing ranks and able to dodge a couple early crashes, and he's a player here at the end of things. We had the 51 stay out. I was wondering if he was tail end of the lead or tail end of the lead lap, or if he was going to be the leader. So that is Jacob Benke in the lead. As we see, he made a paint scheme with his own face on the front, similar to the Corey LaJoie paint schemes we've seen through the years.
Why don't we call up Jacob Benke real quick?
All right, let's see if we can get him. And Jacob Benke, I know you're coming to the green here, but just tell us about the strategy to stay out.
Yeah, I'm hoping for 1 or 2 more cautions. If those happen, I should be good on fuel for the rest of the race. Just taking the chance, first race of the season.
I hear you, buddy. It's been a great run so far. Keep the 51 car up there. We'll be watching.
Perfect, thank you.
That's Jacob Benke. I apologize. We've gotten these guys so late during these interviews. With just
Jacob,
one
where
to
were you
go.
at?
He's in clown car.
My fault.
It's all right. Who hadn't got him going yet? Is it Toby?
Yeah, we'll get him going here.
So how many cars do we have on the lead lap? Do you know?
17.
Okay. Hopefully they were able to get their damage fixed up to at least stay with the draft and have a shot here.
Got the pace car coming off of turn 4. He's going to make that long, drawn-out trip down toward the front straightaway, and the pace car is off. Jacob Benke is in the loud pedal. Will Reichert coming on the outside with a huge run from Scott Wheeler as they hit the start-finish line, and it looks like Will Reichert's going to maintain the lead heading down into turn 1.
I think the 82 car got into the back of the 51 on the initial restart there. I don't know if the 51 was just late to the gas or maybe he missed a shift, but give the lead to Will Reichert, and now Scott Wheeler taking the 97 car on the outside.
Yeah, Scott Wheeler going around that 67 coming off of turn 2. I don't know, if I was Reichert, I probably would have stayed up there. He has 3 teammates right behind him that probably could have pushed him way out there. They could have got something going with that outside. But how about Curtis Granger going to the lead now with Connor Holden right behind him in that Plan B sales number 81.
That was the guy I was going to mention. Connor Holden hadn't said his night the entire telecast, but he's here when it counts. He pushed Ty Smith to the win at Daytona, or Talladega, I'm sorry, and we're here at Daytona, and the 81 car is going to be right in the thick of things.
Curtis Granger's going to dive it down to the inside line right in front of Scott Wheeler as they go down into turn 1, which is going to leave Connor Holden wide open on the outside, pushed by Corey Blevins. About 1 car length back from Corey Blevins.
Yeah, how about that 28 car? He hasn't been on front. Nice to see him up here now. I know Bucky Bird. Him and Bucky Bird's going to make their way to the front here at some point.
And off to turn number 3. It's still the advantage to Curtis Granger on the inside with his teammate Connor Holden on the outside. Corey Blevins trying to push Connor to the lead as they come to the stripe.
They're going to be neck and neck as they come to the stripe. Scott Wheeler's locked to that bumper of Curtis Granger. Connor Holden's on the outside there, followed by Corey Blevins and Bucky Bird. They're going to be dead heat going into turn 1.
A couple of guys I wanted to mention that aren't out of this. Scott McCarris got some damage to the 65, but able to hold up in the draft. And we saw Steve Wright in the 3-spin early. He's right up there in the top 10 too.
Yeah, making their way down the backstretch, down into turn 3, working lap 36 here. We don't have too much longer to go, folks. Curtis Granger, he's holding on to that lead, but Scott Wheeler is all over the back bumper of that number 77 car.
And I just noticed Connor Holden has a little bit of damage that probably came from the wreck at the very beginning of the race, so maybe that's why we hadn't seen him, but he's finally been able to get things repaired enough to be competitive as we see 2 damaged cars side by side heading into one.
Could be a little bit of what's stalling out that top line is that damage from Connor Holden's car, but he's going to get some side draft here and try to pull even coming out of turn 2 with Curtis Granger. He's going to get a huge run out of turn 2.
Way back down the backstretch. Connor Holden, he's got that 81 car out front, but I think Curtis Granger is right back in the inside. Still got Scott
right now with Bucky Bird. Here's what he sees. He's riding in the 6th position as they're 2 by 2 by 2. As they come towards the start-finish line, still Curtis Granger on the inside, the outside lane, trying to get a move here. As we see a lap car up ahead, hopefully they're able to hold their line up high.
And it looks like they're going to stay up high and let the field go underneath them. Looks like Connor Holden's going to get a bit of a run on the outside. Curtis Granger's still at his door though, and that inside line's going to pull dead even as they head out of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're 2 by 2, 3 rows deep, coming down the back stretch. Connor Holden, he's got that 81 out front again. I don't know if he's going to slide down in front of his teammate or not. It looks like he'll stay up there on that outside lane. He's going to pull that 28 of Corey Blevins through turn 4, coming back onto the front stretch.
I wanted to ask you guys, do you think it's possible Connor Holden and Curtis Granger are just kind of trying to stay even just to keep things kind of calmed down right now and prevent any runs from either lane affecting those guys?
You know, knowing those Granger guys, I do not doubt it. They are some smart guys. So if that is their plan, you know, props to them because it seems like it's working very well right now.
Really a difficult strategy to pull off, but if that's what they're trying to do, it's working perfectly. And like you said, they're still side by side. It's Connor Holden up high and Curtis Granger down low.
And Corey Blevins gave Connor Holden a shot going into turn 3, but he was able to hold it steady. And stay right there with Curtis Granger in that 77 car.
I wouldn't be surprised if the 3rd lane starts forming here as we've got 11 laps to go now in this one. Looking for Bucky Bird, maybe Chance Duckworth, Daniel Clark, some of those guys to maybe leave those front 2 guys and try and get that top side working.
Yeah, as the field comes up on the lap car of, I believe that's Andy Siegel, he'll stay up high of their way. But Scott Wheeler looks like he wants to go to the middle. That slowed down that inside lane a little bit. Here comes Corey Blevins. He's cleared that 77, it looks like. He's bringing Bucky Bird with him as they get down in turn 2.
Oh, he caught him! Oh, no! All kinds of cars involved in that one. We see the 51 flipping. The 82 is involved. Heavy, heavy damage. The 28 wasn't quite clear as he tried to make the move. And we've got another body shop caution. I know that incident started with Corey Blevins, but it's go time in this race. And that took out a lot of cars. Finally do have the replay pulled up here.
Yeah, I believe that was just a situation of you're clear, but then you're not. I think Corey Blevins was just trying to clear the 77, and it was just little bit too late.
One guy I saw that was able to make it through there did a great job was the 7 car of Cody Robinson. I'm going to see if I can get an onboard with him. So that changes everything once again. Man, so unfortunate. Here's the view from Cody Robinson. It looked like he actually did catch a beginning part of that. He ended up hitting the right side of the wall there early in the crash, but that wreck just kept going and going. But look who that's going to lead up front. We've got the 81 car of Connor Holden up front, and Bucky Burt in 2nd spot. Let's see if we can get old Bucky up here for an interview.
Yeah, let's bring him on up.
Bear with me a second, I'll give you one. Bucky Bird, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, tell us about your night behind the wheel of the 25 car. It seems like you've done an excellent job missing all of these crashes that this field, I mean, we're going to be down to like 6 to go, and I think there's only really 6 or 7 cars that are going to be able to keep up with your Mustang out there. I mean, there's some torn up race cars.
Yeah, well, you know, we were fast in practice, and obviously, because I'm a premier driver, I had to start dead last on the field, and which actually was a blessing in disguise because I was able to come to a complete stop to miss that first big wreck. And the whole night, I've just been trying to make smart decisions, and I love this racetrack. I come here with the intent to win. I haven't been so lucky lately, but get this win, and whether I'm the only clean car left, I don't care. I'm here to win.
Bucky, I'm going to be honest with you. I am looking through the field, and your car is by far the cleanest out there.
Well, you just have to run a smart race when you're here, and I think that's what we've done tonight.
Well, we'll let you roll. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of this one. Great job so far tonight. I mean, I'm telling you, the Camping World Mustang is the cleanest car out there. Take advantage of it and win this thing, buddy.
I'm going to do my best. Hopefully, Marcus Lemonis is proud of Camping World.
Yeah, we can always use more sponsors. We've got great ones, but it's good to see old Bucky out there as they're going 2 wide right now, having a fantastic run in the 25 car. We've seen Connor Holden be fast. I don't think his damage has really held him up much, but it's going to be really interesting to see where the runs are going to come from, because if you look behind him, Ryan Potter's car is pretty clean. Will Reichert's isn't tore up too bad. Scott McCarris, I know he's got a piece of a couple of accidents, but he's right up there in 8th, had a great night. And it's going to come down to just one of those guys. Alan, how many Talladega races through the years have we seen where we've seen duct tape cars win, or you think of Eric Jones winning that Clash, getting pushed by Denny Hamlin, or I know there was a race in the Busch Series a long time ago where it seemed like the whole field got taken out, and Martin Truex won with a bunch of duct tape on the front of his 8 car. It's kind of one of those races tonight. It's been a really exciting race, but man, some of the players that are left out here, a lot of premier guys still up towards the front right now, but like we've been saying, I mean, Bucky's got the cleanest car up there.
Yeah, that 25 definitely is the cleanest up there right now. Connor isn't too bad off. I think if he can keep that car up front, I think he'll definitely have a shot to win. But Bucky, you got to watch out for him, especially if he gets that top line going, because we've seen all night how they get that outside going.
And the pace car's off. Connor Holden hits the loud pedal. It's a good restart for the inside lane. Bucky Burt needs to get some help. He didn't get a bad restart, but the 77 leaves him all alone there on the outside lane. Looks like the 97 car is having some trouble getting up to speed as we see the 81 pulling away from the entire pack right now.
That's not going to be good. He's going to get out front too far there, and then it's going to be game over when this field catches him and they go by him like a freight train.
The 97 car does have quite a bit of damage, so he probably was having some trouble getting up to speed. Bucky Burt, he's going to lead this 4-car pack, and they're going to blow by Connor Holden here unless he can block that run coming. Looks like he does. Bucky gives him a shot going into turn 3.
Bucky had to be really, really patient there because he had a head of steam. That was almost one of those Joey Logano blocks by Connor Holden, but he's able to make it work as we see Bucky Burt pull to the outside lane of the Camping World car.
Line behind him is lining up with the 81 of Connor Holden. He has no help on the outside. It looks like can't see from this end of the line map, but he jumped outside of him. Curtis Granger jumps up outside of him.
We've got 6 laps to go as we head towards the backstretch. It's Connor Holden leading with a couple of teammates, and Will Reichert and Ryan Potter right behind him.
Yeah, Bucky Burt, he was stuck on the outside lane by himself. It looks like that 65 Scott McCarris, he's going to pull up behind him and see if they can take those 2 cars up to the front. Will Reichert up to block Bucky.
Man, we've seen the 25 car. You can tell he knows he's got the cleanest car out there. Oh, he gets into the back of the 67. Will's able to gather it up, put the purple car of Will Reichert back to the lead from a push from Bucky Burt. Bucky trying to do it all by himself, and he's got the car to do it.
He is outside. He is left, right, in and out, just trying everything, fighting and clawing to get that 25 car out front. Looks like Scott McCarris is going to tuck in behind him with Will Reichert leading him out of turn 2 with Connor Holden in tow.
Yeah, they've got 4 cars on the outside lane now. If they can all get formed up, they might can get everybody to the lead. Oh, contact!
No.
Connor Holden going through the grass.
So we see Bucky Burt down to the inside lane there. Scott McCarris is kind of in no man's lane. It's 2 by 2 and almost 3 wide as they come off turn 4. Coming to 4 laps to go this time. Bucky Burt just put himself in a tremendous position. And Will Reichert's out of shape again. That car is loose as can be with that spoiler damage. And he has saved the car 3 times. I didn't think he was going to. Heck of a job on the wheel tonight.
Heading down into turn 1, it's Bucky Burt out front, followed by Scott McCarris. And Will Reichert on the outside there. They are all fighting and clawing to get their way to the front of this race.
Yeah, making their way back down the backstretch. Bucky's going to have to figure out which lane he's going to have to block. Looks like they're going to take... Oh, Bucky gets turned on the 65.
No caution as we see he goes to the inside there and back out front. Is it the 67 up front?
It is.
So
Will
all
Reichert is
torn
still
up
leading
cars.
this thing.
They're going to come to 3 to go, and Bucky's just praying for a caution at this point. He got spun to the inside lane there, and he was out of harm's way, so the green flag stayed out. Will Reichert continuing to lead in the 67. He's got a pretty big gap to his teammate Ryan Potter behind him. Lots of Granger Racing cars up there with the 38 car of Dalton Beer, and the 44 car is laps down back there, unfortunately. So we see Jonathan Noss up there, but he's laps down. It's really just those 5 cars. In fact, I'm not even sure that Stagner's on the lead lap.
Yeah,
and here comes Scott McCarris with a run. Oh my goodness, did he have a run? He's all the way at the top.
How in the heck did he...
Oh my goodness. 2 laps to go. It's the 67 and the 65 side by side.
I don't know where that run came from Scott McCarris. He's going to be hung out on the outside of that inside line. He gets a little bit of momentum coming off of turn 2. He's going to shove Ryan Potter, and he's going to go to the outside of Ryan Potter, trying to make something happen on the outside as they head into 3.
Yeah, he's going to make his way to the outside of that 99. He's going to try to do something here as they head into turn 3. He's going to try to get right up beside that 67 car and do what he can to win this race as they come to the white flag.
Will Reichert's not able to hold that 67 car down there to the bottom. It's Scott McCarris to the outside lane. 1 lap to go in this one at Daytona. Is it going to be McCarris or one of the Granger teammates, or can Dalton Beer, the 38 car, get up there? We're going to find out. Head off into turn number 1 and 2 right now.
Will Reichert takes the lead and maintains the lead heading out of turn 2 with Ryan Potter close behind and Dalton Beer right behind him. Scott McCarris is on the outside with help from laps down Jonathan Nouse. We're going to see what they got heading down the right.
Reichert up the block. It looked like a little bit for that 65. That 65, he's side drafting the 67 a little bit. He's got help from behind from that 44, Jonathan Nouse. There's contact.
Trouble! A huge crash! And Ryan Potter got into the 65. They flipped behind him. It's going to come down to the trio of Will Reichert, Ryan Potter, and Dalton Beer. Does Potter pull out and try and make a move, or does he stick behind his teammate? He stays behind his teammate, and it's Will Reichert making up for his Talladega mistake and scoring the victory here at Daytona.
What an exciting finish to that race, guys. It's unfortunate that the wrecks had to happen without cautions, but that's the way iRacing works. You know, if you spin down the inside, there is no caution thrown. So, congrats to Will Reichert for his good win.
Yeah, well-deserved win. He was up there really the entire race.
Yeah, he was a factor every lap. He was a factor up front. He kept that car out front and really showed his muscle. it's good to see. Good to see a dominant car win. Very deserving, like you said, Kendall.
Yeah, I hate that Bucky got turned there and the caution didn't come out. And then we saw Scott McHarris. He had a great run the entire race, and he got clipped by the 99 there trying to side draft. And he took a hard hit. We'll take a look at that replay as soon as Will's done burning him down here on the front stretch. Well, we couldn't have asked for more tonight. We saw plenty of crashes. We saw a torn up car win the thing. And there was mystery in this one all the way till the final corner.
Yeah, that's Daytona though. It's like rolling the dice and seeing what happens. You know, it's a gamble. Every lap's on the edge of your seat, and it's a unique type of racing that you can't get anywhere else but Daytona and Talladega.
Well, let's pull the winner up here and get a word with him. Toby, you got him?
Yeah, I'll get him. Will Riker, Toby Wedgwood up here in the booth. What a win, buddy.
10-4. That's a hard drive at the end.
What? Take us through those last few laps, putting yourself in position there to get the win.
Well, so last few laps we had a lot of good GRT boys up there. It was me, Connor, Brian, Kurt, all up in the top 6, 7 or so. So it's always nice when we have friends with you at a play track like this. We have a strategy planned out. Kurt was gonna, be on the high line. So if the high line got the run, then he was going to have a good shot. And the other 3 of us are going to be down low. So if low line got shot, then we'd have a really good shot at winning. We had a really good chance of one of the GRT boys bringing it home. I'm glad it was me. I want to thank everyone on GRT. We worked really well together tonight. I want to apologize to the 3 car. I think it was like lap 13 or 14. I got into him in a tri-oval. Caused a little bit of an incident. It wasn't a yellow, but ruined a few people's days. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this first win.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a product of this type of racing, but it made your road to winning a little easier at the end when those guys spun out. But like you said, you had friends there at the end to help push you across the line, and that's kind of what you need at Daytona. So, congratulations on your win, man. And you got anybody else to thank for this?
Just thank all the fans at home that watched. Just a real team effort today. Everyone on GRT worked well together. So thanks to them again.
All right, well, that's your winner, Will Reichert. He's going to grab the points lead as we move into race number 2 at Nashville. Will Reichert, a very deserving win. He was up towards the front the entire race and takes the torn up VAG Esports car to victory lane. Another guy that was really close to winning this one was Scott McHarris. I want to bring him up and just kind of find out what happened as we've got the replay on screen right now. Scott McHarris, you had a heck of a night all night long. I know you got bits and pieces of a couple of crashes, but we saw you come out of nowhere with a run, the biggest run of the race with some of those torn up cars in front of you coming to the white flag. Just walk us through the finish of that race.
Man, it was so much fun. I was just digging hard for it. I got lucky that a lot of my repairs weren't too bad, so I was able to kind of come in under those cautions and get them fixed up. And but man, you got that right, man. When I was coming on that lead pack there at the end, I was like, I'm going for the win right now. Checkered or wreckers, man.
Yeah, that's what Daytona does. I mean, we saw it looked like you were maybe trying to get a side draft from the 99. You were one of the cleanest cars left up there, and it was hard it seemed like the Granger Racing team, they had so many cars up there. They really worked against you and Bucky Bird at the end of that race because you guys had really clean cars and they were able to get the win. As what spot were you able to? 9th spot, so at least you were able to pull a top 10 out of it. But Scott, you did a whale of a job. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
But yeah, I want to thank my sponsors, Tech2 America, for giving me the weekly paycheck so I can afford to do this kind of thing, and Triton Energy for giving me energy to stay up through all these races. And thank you guys the most for doing this league. It's really awesome, and I'm really excited for the rest of the season and racing with everybody else. And definitely looking forward to the next plate race for sure.
Well, that Scott McCarris ends up P9 tonight, but he was fast all race long, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for him. The other guy we've got to bring up here is the 25 of Bucky Burt.
Heartbreak for him. We'll get him up here. Bucky Burt, Toby up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Toby.
Man, coming down to those final laps, you were in the perfect position to be there at the end, and we were cheering you on up here in the booth, and just some unfortunate events happened, and some dodging and weaving, and just good hard racing caused that. But take us through the last few laps there, and what was going through your mind as you were creeping towards the front.
Well, I really felt like I had the better car out of the guys that were left. Is on that last restart there, I didn't really get a good restart, but I drove by myself back up to take the lead. And so that incident that happened on the backstretch, we were passing a lap down car, and I felt like the 65 of Scott was committed to my bumper, and he apparently had a nose under me. I've been racing tonight without a spotter. So I got to get that fixed. But so I didn't know he was actually there, and I guess I misjudged it, and I got hooked. It is what it is. It's a racing deal. I'm frustrated, obviously, because I felt like I let one slip away. But I had a lot of fun tonight, and hopefully I proved my worth racing in the Highline Racing League tonight.
Yeah, Bucky, it looked like almost they all knew that you had the cleanest car, and the GRT guys really worked well to just kind of leave you hung out. But you were by yourself able to keep up with all those guys just because they had so much damage. And yeah, we hated to see, especially when you got spun, that the yellow didn't come out, because we knew honestly you were going to be just fine had the yellow come
Right.
out. There's so few
Yeah,
cars in the field.
Yeah, I was hoping that the yellow would come out, but I guess because I spun on the backstretch down off the racing surface, it did not. I also was not able to hear any in-race chatter, so I didn't know when anybody was pitting. I didn't get to hear anything, so I don't know what happened. Apparently, everything's turned off. But I'm aware that some comments were made on the race chat um, when I spun, and I'm aware of them, and we'll handle those come Thursday. That 25 Ford Mustang is going to be up front, and we're going to win this thing on Thursday in the Premier Series.
Well, Bucky, you ran great all night. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go and get ready for Thursday?
Yeah, I want to thank my Blue Oval Motorsports teammates, Corey Blevins and Andrew Baker, for being in this race tonight. They weren't planning on running, and I guess when they found out I was going to be the only BOM car, they decided to help me out. And I think we proved that we are a strong we're strong contenders on these plate races. Got to thank Camping World for coming on board, Marcus Lemonis, as well as the Bucky Burt Show, Highland Wealth Advisors LLC, Nature's Bakery, Kelly's Kitchen, and all the great Bruzy Racewear, your wear, your wear, your way. Just got to thank everybody, and of course you guys that are at the top here, Toby and Kendall, putting this thing on for us to have a lot of fun and be able to put on a great show for these racing fans.
Well, Bucky,
Oh, and Plan B sales as well in CircleBDiecast.
Yeah, we can do it without those guys. Bucky, we appreciate all the work you guys put in to this league as well, and we'll see you on Thursday, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that's Bucky Bird. He did end up 7th spot tonight, so he was able to salvage a top 10 after getting spun there, but not the victory that he had hoped with that clean race car there at the end. And I don't know why nobody would work with him. It seemed like he was really kind of stuck by himself quite a bit there. Let's see if we can get old Ryan Potter up here. Alan, you want to interview Ryan?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, there he is.
Ryan, how's it going, man?
Oh, not too bad.
How'd the race go for you?
It was interesting. I got to that wreck on lap 1. Thankfully, I was slowed up in time to where I didn't get very much damage. And then it was just kind of just riding around, surviving for a while, and then got towards the end. There wasn't a whole lot of cars left, so it was like, what are we just trying to figure out what we were gonna do to win the race, and we got in right position at least. I hate that I got into the 65 with Scott there and turned him. That was the last thing I wanted to do, was turn a developmental series driver running for points when I'm not running for points here. So, but we were able to at least get a Granger Racing Team car to victory lane, which was really good.
Yeah, well, we saw you running up front there. You were second, I believe, on the last lap. Tell us, what made you stay behind Will instead of going for the win? I know y'all are teammates and everything, but shoot, last lap at Daytona, man, you got to every man for yourself.
Honestly, on that last lap, especially once it was just down to the three of us, my thought was, I'm not running for points. As much as I could go out there and get a win, I'm not going to take anything away from Will because he earned it tonight. He was fast. He was good. He was smart. He earned that race tonight, and I wasn't going to take that away from him and lose him points when he's running for a championship.
That's a heck of a teammate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Will definitely had a strong car tonight. But congrats on second place, man. You running any other races with the development series this season?
I think I haven't decided which ones yet, but I think I'm gonna run like at least 2 more. But I'm not sure which ones yet, so I'll have to figure that out. But I'd like to at least get another 1 or 2 in here before the season's over.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Pretty sure the limit for us Thursday night guys is 3 this season. So
I think so too.
yeah. Well, hopefully we decide to race at least one race together, man, and we'll go out there and have some fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's your runner-up spot tonight. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Kurt and Will and Connor and Ty and DJ, and I know what's his name, Jordan Martin. Jordan Martin's a new guy with us. He's one of DJ's friends. He came on tonight. I want to thank all those guys that were working well. They were helpful tonight. Honestly, just guys I raced around. A lot of them were really clean. They weren't trying too hard. I know Scott Wheeler was really clean tonight. He was being very patient, and I appreciated that. He was really good tonight. But yeah, just thank you guys for broadcasting as usual. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll see Ryan Potter on Thursday, and of course the Premier Series is going to be racing over on Max Speed TV, so be sure to tune in for that one. Guys, let's go through the finishing order of this one. Had a big mess there at the end, so it really shook things up.
Yeah, that always shakes things up at Daytona. You know what's coming. You can see it coming, and unfortunately, it took a lot of good cars out. But Will Reichert scored the win tonight. It was his lucky day. Followed by Ryan Potter in second, Dalton Beer in third. Fourth was Scott Wheeler Jr. Fifth was Trevor Hook. Sixth was Jordan Martin. Seventh was Bucky Burt. Eighth was Daniel Clark. Ninth was Scott McCarris, and 10th was Curtis Granger.
11th spot went to Andrew Siegel. 12th was Cody T. Robinson. 13th was Dylan Poteet. 14th went to Roberto Ramirez. Nice recovery there. 15th was Dylan Wedgwood. 16th, Jeff Morash. 17th was Michael Maruga. 18th was Jonathan Noss. 19th was Steve Rada. And 20th was Connor Holden. 21st was Benjamin Porsche. 22nd was Dylan Body. 23rd was DJ Stagner. 24th was Chance Duckworth. 25th was Corey Blevins. 26th spot went to Jacob Benke. 27th was Brad Kress. 28th was Matt Owens. And a poor night, unfortunately, for Ty Smith as he ends up 29th there. 30th, Jacob Holm. 31st, Andrew Baker. And that rounded out the field. Any final thoughts from Daytona International Speedway as those guys get prepared for the Nashville Fairgrounds next week?
Well, you know, it's kind of like going to Las Vegas. It's a big gamble, and it paid off for Will Reichert. He was up there all night, had a good showing. Bucky Burt showing strength there at the end. Scott McCarris up there mixing it up. Curtis Granger, all those guys, and Ryan Potter, Dalton Beer, Scott Wheeler Jr., all those guys mixing it up throughout the evening. But it was a good race all in all. Hate for the guys that got tore up, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to come to Daytona, but next week it'll be more in the driver's hands at a short track like Nashville. So I'm excited to get there and watch what these guys got on the short track.
Yeah, I think next week will definitely be a lot different. You know, like Toby said, it's going to be in the driver's hands. Nashville is a driver's racetrack. But it was great seeing the show tonight. Those guys put on a great show for everybody watching. It was nice to see some of the newer guys to the league, you know, mixing it in, getting their name up front. Yeah, hopefully we have a good show next week. I know I'll be there at Nashville, so we're hoping for a great race next week.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Daytona. Will Reichert is your winner, and we'll catch you next week for the Nashville Fairgrounds.